Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever poured your heart and soul into a piece of writing, crafting the perfect introduction and building a compelling argument, only to feel like it just fizzles out at the end? You're not alone. The conclusion is often the most overlooked part of the writing process, but it's arguably the most important. It's your last chance to make an impression, to leave your reader with something to think about, and to make your message stick. A weak ending can undermine everything that came before it, but a strong, impactful conclusion that can elevate your entire piece from good to unforgettable. So today, we're going to dive deep into the art of the conclusion. We'll break down exactly what a conclusion needs to do and explore a ton of powerful strategies to ensure your final words pack a serious punch. By the end of this video, you'll have all the tools you need to write conclusions that resonate, persuade, and leave a lasting impact. Let's get started. So, what's the big deal with conclusions anyway? Think of it like the final scene of a great movie or the last chord of a powerful song. It's the moment that brings everything together and provides a sense of closure and satisfaction. A great conclusion has three primary jobs. First, it needs to signal that the discussion is coming to an end. This might sound obvious, but it helps the reader mentally prepare for the wrap-up. Second, it must summarize the main points. This isn't just about repeating what you've already said. It's about synthesizing your key arguments, showing the reader how all the pieces of your puzzle fit together. It's the so what moment, where you reinforce the main takeaway of your writing. And third, and most crucially, it should provide a final thought or perspective. This is where you leave your reader with something to chew on, a sense of finality, a call to action, or a new idea to ponder. It's the part that makes your writing memorable. Let's kick things off with the most classic and straightforward technique, the summary conclusion. This is your go-to for academic essays, research papers, and reports. Its main goal is to neatly restate your thesis and summarize your main supporting points. But here's the key. Don't just copy and paste your topic sentences. That's boring and feels robotic. Instead, you want to rephrase your main ideas in a fresh way. Use different wording to show you have a deep understanding of the material. Think of it as presenting the greatest hits of your argument. For example, if your essay argued that remote work increases productivity, your conclusion would briefly restate that claim and then touch upon the key reasons you presented, like improved work-life balance, fewer distractions, and increased employee autonomy. This method provides a clear, logical ending that reinforces your message and ensures your reader walks away with a solid understanding of your core argument. It's reliable, effective, and a fundamental skill for any writer. Now let's move beyond a simple summary and explore a more engaging technique: closing the loop. This strategy is all about creating a satisfying sense of symmetry in your writing. How does it work? You circle back to something you mentioned in your introduction. Maybe it was a story, a startling statistic, a vivid image, or a thought-provoking question. By referencing it again in your conclusion, you create a powerful narrative frame. It tells the reader, we've been on a journey, and now we've come full circle. For example, if you started your article with an anecdote about a struggling small business owner, your conclusion could revisit that owner, but now show how they've succeeded by applying the principles you discussed. This technique adds an elegant, polished feel to your work. It shows intentionality and craftsmanship, and it provides a deeply satisfying sense of closure for the reader, making the entire piece feel complete and whole. It's a fantastic way to make your writing feel less like a list of points and more like a cohesive, well-told story. Want to leave your readers truly thinking long after they've finished your piece? Try ending with a provocative question or a call to action. This is an incredibly powerful technique for persuasive essays, blog posts, and speeches. Instead of just summarizing, you're actively engaging your audience and shifting the focus from your text to their own lives and actions. A well-crafted question can spark curiosity and encourage readers to continue contemplating your topic. For instance, after an article about environmental conservation, you might ask, If we don't take these steps today, what kind of world will we be leaving for the next generation? Alternatively, a direct call to action tells your readers exactly what you want them to do next. Be specific. Don't just say make a difference. Say, visit this website to sign the petition. Or, try implementing one of these time management techniques this week and see the results for yourself. This empowers your audience, turning them from passive readers into active participants and extending the impact of your writing beyond the page. Another sophisticated strategy is to end by pointing to the future. This is perfect for topics that are evolving, like technology, social trends, or scientific research. Instead of presenting your conclusion as the final word, you frame it as a stepping stone. You can speculate on the future implications of your topic, suggest areas for further research, or issue a warning about potential challenges ahead. For example, a paper on the rise of artificial intelligence might conclude by discussing the potential societal shifts we can expect in the next decade or the ethical questions that still need to be addressed. This shows that you're a forward thinker and that your topic has broader significance. It leaves the reader with a sense of forward momentum and importance, suggesting that the conversation you've started is far from over. This method adds weight and authority to your writing, positioning your piece as a relevant and timely contribution to an ongoing discussion. It's a great way to leave a lasting impression of intellectual curiosity and insight. Let's talk about a common pitfall, the in conclusion trap. We've all been taught to use phrases like in conclusion to summarize, or in closing to signal the end of our writing. And while they aren't technically wrong, they can often feel clunky, formulaic, and a bit lazy. Your conclusion should flow naturally from the body of your text. The shift in tone and the act of synthesizing your points should be enough to signal to the reader that you're wrapping things up. Instead of relying on these tired transition phrases, try letting your ideas do the work. Start your final paragraph by directly restating your thesis in a new, compelling way, or jump right into a powerful, concluding thought. Ditching these crutches forces you to be a more creative and confident writer. It makes your ending feel more seamless and professional, less like you're just checking a box on a how to write an essay list. So, how do you choose the right strategy for your piece? The best conclusion depends entirely on your purpose and your audience. You need to mix and match. For a complex academic paper, you might start with a summary to ensure clarity, but then end with a look to the future to suggest areas for new research. For a persuasive blog post, you could close the loop on an opening story and then follow it with a powerful call to action. Don't feel locked into a single formula. The most impactful conclusions often blend several techniques. The goal is to create an ending that feels authentic to your message and resonates with your intended reader. Ask yourself, what do I want my reader to feel, think, or do after reading my work? Do I want them to feel informed, inspired, challenged, or reassured? Answering that question is the key to unlocking the perfect concluding strategy for any piece of writing. Let's quickly recap the powerful strategies we've covered today. We started with the classic summary, perfect for reinforcing your main points with clarity. Then we explored closing the loop, a technique for creating a satisfying, full-circle narrative. We learned how to engage our audience directly with a provocative question or a clear call to action, turning them into active participants. We also discussed how to add weight and authority by pointing to the future, speculating on implications and further research. We made a note to avoid the in conclusion trap, to make our writing sound more professional and seamless. And finally, we emphasized the importance of mixing and matching these strategies to fit your specific purpose and audience. Remember, the conclusion isn't an afterthought. It's your final powerful statement. It's your chance to seal the deal and make your message unforgettable. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this deep dive into crafting killer conclusions. I hope you're leaving with a toolbox full of new ideas and the confidence to make your next piece of writing your most impactful one yet. Writing is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. So I encourage you to experiment with these different techniques. Try closing the loop in your next blog post or ending a report with a forward-looking statement. See what works for you and your style. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. And for more writing tips and content strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. I love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let me know which conclusion strategy you're most excited to try. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.